Hey Pioneers, today we are concluding our unit on volume and we are going to be looking at cross sections of three-dimensional figures. A lot of fancy words. Okay, so let's talk about this. Consider slicing or cutting through a solid. So like let's say we cut through a rectangular prism, a triangular prism, or a pyramid. And we cut through that with something called a plane. Okay, and the intersection of the plane and the solid is a two-dimensional shape called a cross section. So if we look at this diagram here, we see this blue object. This blue object is a rectangular prism. This rectangular prism was cut in half by this orange plane. Okay, it was sliced in half. When we slice that in half, it creates another shape. Okay, and it creates a two-dimensional shape. So remember, the rectangular prism is a three-dimensional shape, but when we slice it in half, it creates this two-dimensional shape right here, which is purple. We need to be able to simply identify what shape that is. So what shape is that purple section? So, for example, again, this diagram shows the intersection of a plane and a rectangular prism. Again, this purple shape right here is what's formed when we cut through that rectangular prism with the plane. All we got to do is identify what shape is this purple section. Well, it's a two-dimensional object. It's a rectangle. Okay, so this cross section is what we call this purple section, a cross section, and it's a rectangle. That's all we need to be able to do. Okay, so let's look at a bunch of examples. So it says, describe the intersection of the plane and the solid. Okay, so the plane is these orange shapes, and the solid is in A, it's a triangular prism or pyramid, excuse me. In B, it's a rectangular prism, and so on. So here, this was cut in half by this plane right here. Okay, again, we want to look at this purple shape that was formed when it was sliced in half. We just need to identify what shape is this cross section. What shape is this purple section? It's a triangle. So the cross section of this pyramid and plane is a triangle. All we got to do is write triangle. Okay, let's look at B. Here we have a rectangular prism that was sliced by this plane. What shape did this create? Well, it created a rectangle. Right, letter C. Here we have a triangular prism. It was cut by this plane, which formed this purple shape. What shape is this purple shape? It is a triangle. Okay. Last but not least, we got a couple more. Here we have a sphere, and the sphere was sliced by a plane that created this purple shape. What kind of shape is this? It is a circle. Okay, and then here we have a cylinder. This cylinder was cut by a plane and form this purple shape. What kind of shape is this purple shape? It is a rectangle. All right, boys and girls, so that's all we have to do. We have to be able to look at a three-dimensional object that's cut by a plane and determine what shape was created through that intersection. What is that cross section? What is that shape? Okay, so you guys are now going to complete a Google form doing the same thing, looking at three-dimensional objects and a plane and determine which shape was created through that intersection.